happier dental staff in 1 week. It's brought to you by the leader in numbers, Dental Intel. Dental Intel works very hard with dentist office nationwide. In fact, the motto, or what we go by, is stated right here in front of you, which is, we provide the #1 tool to optimize profits and success for dental offices. Not only do we maximize profits, but most importantly, we improve the dentist's quality of life. Now, how refreshing is that to hear? That not only is something worthwhile monetary, but also enjoyable. Not only is this important for us to know enjoying our quality of life as a dentist, but also what we're mostly going to be focusing on today, which is enjoying the quality of life as an employee, how to be happy as an employee. We're going to first start off with this good-looking man. For those that know him, he has been really great for our country, United States of America. His name is Thomas Jefferson, and this is what he said. He said, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed." So what he's basically saying is that we're all able to have happiness. And that is exactly what we're going to be talking about today, is how to get not only ourselves happier, but also, most importantly, our dental staff. I'm sure one reason why you're on here is either you have a dental staff members who are not happy, or you've had dental staff members who were not happy in the past. For those that have had dental staff members that were unhappy in the past, what were some things that you did, or that the staff members did, to relieve that, to become happy again? Did you have to get rid of somebody? Was there some new system implemented? Was there a raise happening? What was it? I want you to think about that for just a second. What was it that makes somebody go from unhappy to happy? And that leads me right to my first question for everybody, and that is, what makes you personally happy? So with that pen and paper that you have out, write down what makes you happy, and this can be a list of many things. And this is a really important part of this webinar for you to write this down. Myself, what I did when I went through this exercise is I wrote down what makes me happy. My family. I've got a wonderful wife and 3 beautiful girls who love me very much, and they are what makes me happy. Also, success at work. Not just work in general, coming to work. I don't necessarily enjoy coming to work every day, but I enjoy success. I enjoy, me personally, I enjoy it when a dentist takes home more money and has a qualitier lifestyle. I enjoy that. I talk about their success stories all the time. We become good friends because of that. We're able to go snowboarding. We're able to go out to the beach. We're able to do a lot of things because of that success at work. I'm also grateful for friends. Friends is another thing I wrote down. They are people who lift me up, who we have good times with, good memories with. That's another thing that's important. Another thing that makes me happy, service. I hope you're writing these down. Write these down, what makes you happy. As Thomas Jefferson said, another thing that I put on my list was freedom and liberty. Why freedom and liberty? We'll be going over that here in just 1 second. And then lastly, one of the last few things I wrote down was opportunity. I love an opportunity to succeed. I love an opportunity to have a better lifestyle. I love an opportunity to make more money. I love an opportunity to create new friends. All those things, it kind of boils down to that. So I hope you got a good list there. Now take that list that you've made and push it off to the side. I want you to think about what makes your employees happy. All right? What makes your employees happy? Now, as I put up here, there's a hint up here. If you know what makes your employees happy, you will have a happier staff because you'll be able to help those things, which is an obvious statement. But most of the time, we don't even know what makes our staff happy. Most of the time, they're going to put down money. But that is something that we're going to debunk here today, that money does not make one happy. To an extent, money isn't what makes somebody happy. But what makes them happy? So here's your first action item, something that you got to take to your staff immediately. And this is something I would suggest taking to them on Wednesday. If you have Wednesdays off, take it to them on Thursday. Right away, this is your first action item. In your morning huddle, have your staff write down what makes them happy. Just like I had you write down. Have them write down those things of what makes them happy. And then with that, we have 3 action items at the end of this webinar that you can build off of that list. All right. So now we kind of picking up on the fact of what makes somebody happy. We want to know first the status quo. We want to know exactly what's going on right now that makes me happy. But let's flip over the other side of the coin before we get going too far down that road. The other side of that coin, what would it be? Unhappiness. What makes us unhappy? If we know what makes us unhappy, then we can build upon that and do just the opposite, or find those human behaviors of what makes us unhappy and make it to our benefit. So the other side of that coin, there's 2 factors that I want to talk about, and you may be surprised with the second one here. What makes you unhappy? First one is no choice, not having an ability to make choices. Going back to Thomas Jefferson, he said that among those unalienable rights that we have is liberty. Liberty and having choice, being able to choose what we want to do. If we don't have a choice, if we have to do something, if you're stuck in a situation where you have to do it, you're not happy. The second one here is materialism. Materialism is something else that makes us unhappy. You see videos, or you hear of stories on the news where somebody has everything they want, but they're unhappy. The classic are those movies that show somebody who heading to America, where he's unhappy out in his country, and he comes to America to try to find happiness, and it's not materialism. But that's what we're going to hit on first, is materialism. So here is a study that was done both in 1982 and 2013, just last year. The average income back in 82 was $25,000, and 30% of people were happy. Out of the people, 30% said they were happy. In addition to that, they had 2.4, on average, 2.4 big ticket items. A big ticket item would be a car, a big screen TV, or a TV, something that's not necessary, but it's cost a lot. They had 2.4 big ticket items, but overall people wanted 4.2 on average. All right, so let's take this a couple years later, almost 20 years later, or just over 20 years later, 30 years later, excuse me, do my math there. The average income was $38,000, and 31% of people were happy. Very similar, hasn't changed much. They also had more ticket items, 3.8 ticket items, but wanted more ticket items. See how this trend is working? It doesn't matter what you have, you're always wanting to have more. And with materialism, it is really comes down to the fact of once your basic needs are met, and a little bit more. I mean, once your basic needs are met, like your house, your food, your transportation, and a little bit more, enough to go on a small vacation here and there, whatnot, that is all you need to be happy. An increase of happiness is not with more money or things. once you have that, once your basic needs are met. And that's proven over time. We can see that both in 1982 and in 2013, that it's not changing. Humans are the same yesterday, today, and even in the future. They'll be the same. And so, and trying to figure out what makes a happier staff, remember this. Remember, materialism is not one of those things that makes us happy. All right, so here's a pretty funny video that I love seeing on TV, and I'm going to show it here to you guys today.
What's the biggest number you can think of?
A trillion, billion, zillion.
That's pretty big. How about you?
10.
Okay. How about you?
Infinity.
Can you top that?
Infinity and 1.
Actually, we were looking for infinity plus infinity. Sorry.
What about infinity times infinity?
It's not complicated.
Pretty funny there, right? I love those commercials. Those commercials make me laugh. It's something that, it's just goes to show that people often think that bigger is better. That bigger is better, and that's not always the case. There's many of those videos that are pretty hilarious. But so our next portion was choice. So that's materialism. Make sure to write that down, that materialism is not something that makes us happy. Just to rephrase, if you have your basic needs, once your basic needs are met, then everything else is money or things is not going to increase that happiness. Second thing that we're looking at was choice. Not having a choice. Let me give you the study that was given to college students. There was a same topic, same teacher, same curriculum, same syllabus, the whole bit. They took 2 different classes, even within the same year. Oh, excuse me here. Even within the same year. Jeez. Oh, having a little bit of trouble here. One sec. Let's go back to here. There we go. Current slide. There we go. All right. So there's two classes done, right? Excuse me. Same class, 2 different groups of kids. The first group of kids, they had 30 topics in order to write a paper. They were assigned they had a choice between 30 topics to choose from. The other class had 6 topics to choose from. Now, as you would think with my earlier comment that choices will make you, not having a choice will make you happy, there also comes a little bit more on the top end of that. If you have too many choices, it also doesn't make you happy. So what they took was these guys with 30 topics, and throughout the course of the class, they noticed that the kids weren't as happy. They didn't show up on time because they felt like they didn't choose a top. Whatever the reason was, they weren't on time. They didn't do better work, and they didn't do good grades. You'll see the grades statistic there on the side. Those with 6 topics, a smaller, limited choice, were able to choose, had a more focused topics to choose from. And they, on the other hand, they were happier, they were on time for class, they did better work, they got better grades, etc. They got all those things. You can see the A's versus the blue mark portion there versus the ones with 30 in the class. And the C's, look how small the green is compared to, look how small the green is on the 6 topics versus the 30 topics. So you may ask, why am I bringing that up? Well, it pulls into fact as we start talking with our staff members. Have you ever told a staff member, you know what, I want you to take control of this office. I want you to be the best. You have unlimited resources. You can pick whatever materials you want. You can do whatever you need to do. I just want to get this office success. I want to be successful in this office. You have free reins. Do whatever you want. What happens in those situations? Oftentimes, you have somebody that comes in, they get really gung-ho for the first week or two, maybe month, and then all of a sudden everything it's back to where it was or less. You might get somebody who has been in an office before and knows what to do and is able to take that and run with it. But more times than not, you have this situation with the 30 topics. Somebody who is overwhelmed. Yet on the other side, if you tell somebody to do their work and you don't tell them what to do, and you have an expectation of that, they are not going to live up that expectation because they're always fearful. As soon as you turn the room, they're going to act busy. They're going to give excuses when you say, hey, why aren't these things sterilized? Why aren't our instruments sterilized? They're going to give an excuse. Oh, I was with patient ABC and they were talking my ear off, and then I had to check another patient in, and that's why they weren't. They are confused because there's not a specific task that they're assigned to. So that's talking about choice here. There's a few other great examples of choice that I'm sure you're thinking of right off the top of your head, but these are fundamental principles that we need to know before we can get our staff happy. All right, so I'm coming back to that first question on what makes us happy. What makes you happy? What makes me happy? What makes your staff happy? And as we go through this, it's important to remember that we need to have certain roles. Myself, when I come into work and I know what I'm going to be doing in the day, I write down, okay, I'm going to get these are my 3 tasks that I'm going to get done. And if I get those 3 tasks done, doesn't matter what else I do, if I get those 3 tasks done, I go home. My kids, remember I told you about my 3 girls? I get home and I want to play with them. I want to go shopping with them or go do homework with them, whatever that might be. On the flip side of that, if I have those 3 tasks that I know I'm supposed to do and I don't do any of them, I don't feel as secure, right? I get home, I want to lay down, I don't want anybody to bother me. I'm not in this state of mind to be happy. So the true answer to all this, out of what makes us happy, is very simple. It's one word, really. It's not money. It's not choice. It's not a raise. It's not a promotion. It's not dental work. It's very plain and simple. It's progression. No matter what facet you have, now go back to your list that I had you write in the beginning, right? That list of what makes you happy. On all of those items that you wrote down, is there some form of progression in those? Are you happier when you're progressing in one of those? Go back to mine, right? My family. Am I happier when my family's progressing and they're getting smarter and bigger and we're doing more things together? Absolutely. Work. Success at work. If I'm doing good things at work, am I happier? Absolutely. With my friends, if we are not just sitting around, looking each other in the eye, but we're going out and we're doing enjoyable activities together. We're going out and doing service. We're doing whatever it might be. Are we happier? Absolutely. Those are the things that we need to recognize, is that progression is the thing that makes us happy. It doesn't matter what else you say. There was a time where we went into an office and we asked them, all right, what makes you happy in here? And they're like, oh, new patients. Okay, progression. What else makes you happy? When we get a big insurance check. What's that? That's progression. Another person says, what makes you happy? I love it when the doctor goes and gets new training, when he gets implant training or IV certification. Progression, once again. The things that are making people happy not only are they certain things, but it's progression. It's becoming better. So how do we take this to our staff? What do we do to make sure that our staff members are progressing? That's the ultimate question, is what are we doing? Now remember, we go back. The two things that do not make us happy are what? Materialism and no choices, right? Not having a choice and materialism. Those are the things that don't make us happy. Things that make us happy are progression. So here are some 3 steps, 3 simple, easy steps to having a happier staff. First one, write this down. First one, having clear, defined expectations of each staff member. I know some of you may have a role chart for the front office and for the assistant and whatnot. But what's more important is that Sally knows her 2 to 3, once again, not a lot of choices, not everything here, right? It's 2 to 3 expectations you have as the doctor or the office manager, whoever it is that's having those expectations. 2 to 3 expectations that you have for that employee. It's best to have it on paper so that they see it as well. And then when they know that they're hitting those when they're doing excelling or progressing in those 2 to 3 expectations, something that's measurable, not I want you to make sure people are happy in the office. I want you to make sure that everybody has a good experience. Not that, but something that's measurable. I want you to make sure that when patients come back to the chair, everybody gets nitrous, whatever it might be. But something that's measurable that you can go back and look at and have those expectations met. Second one here is know what makes them happy, both outside and inside the office. Remember the action item we talked about earlier at the beginning of this webinar? Have them write down everything that makes them happy just like you did. Well, take that list and know it. Know what makes them happy so that as you talk with them, you can build upon those things within the office. The last one is interesting here. I put celebrate 3 times. Why do you think I put celebrate 3 times? Celebrating it 3 times is not the same thing over and over again. Oh, you did so good with that crown seat. Oh, you did so good with that crown seat. Oh, it's not saying that. It's telling in 3 different ways or 3 different areas where you appreciate somebody. And then after, if there's something that is needed for improvement, you give them a helpful observation. You don't need to give them a raise. All you need to do is say, you know what, when these are your expectations and I appreciate this. I saw that you did this with this patient and I was grateful for that. I also saw that you're being a lot more proactive than you were last week. And if there's a need for a helpful observation, you give it then. But you never go to the employee and say, why are you not doing X? I can't believe you did Y. I can't believe you did Y. Why don't you be more like Susie up front? Saying those things is not going to get you a happier staff. But if they know what their expectations are, number 1, if you know what makes them happy, number 2, and you celebrate, and then a helpful observation, 3 celebrations and a helpful observation, then your staff will become the happier staff you've always wanted them to be. It's that simple. There's a reason why happy people have happy people around them, because they understand these small, easy principles. Is a happy person going to go up to somebody and be upset with them? No. They're going to talk about the good things. As we had talked about before, progression is very important. So if they know their expectations, progression will be there. I hope that this is something that you don't just look at today and put it at the bottom or put it on your desk and go to work tomorrow without implementing. This is something that's not hard to do. It's even something you can delegate to your staff member or to your office manager and have them start with right away. If they want any help from myself, I'd be happy to help them. I'd even be happy to be on a morning huddle with somebody. Feel free to give me a call. You'll have my number here in just a moment. But feel free to reach out to me. I understand what makes people happy. Myself, people are always wondering why I'm smiling so big, if it's because I had cosmetic dentistry done or is it because I just got a raise. And those are not the reasons. The reason is because I am progressing. I know what makes me happy, and when I'm around people, I talk about the good things. I celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. So with that all said in mind, I did promise everybody I'd keep this short. In addition, I also said that you would be able to get an iTunes gift card. Dental Intel is the #1 tool for dental offices to increase profits and success for all dental offices nationwide. We get more profits and give them a better lifestyle, guaranteed or your money back. Text HAPPY to my phone number there. That's my cell line, 801-380-7070, and I'll get you your iTunes gift card. In addition, we love to find other ways to make your staff happy and also yourself. It's that better lifestyle that we talk about so much, is not only having your staff happy, but you as well, the dentist, going home every night, sleeping, not staying up until midnight looking at emails and stressing about what to do. But when you have your choices there for you and you're not worried about the money, it's taken care of, then you are happy. I know these principles to be true. I've had them in my own life, and I know that you can have them here coming up. So my name's Curtis Marshall. We are Dental Intel. We improve the quality life of dentists. Please do not let this go away. Take those action items that I talked about previous and implement them into your office. I know that it will work. And if you do have questions, feel free to chat at the bottom left or give me a text. Be happy to work with you. And we hope that you love dentistry and get more profits and a better lifestyle. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.